Hello, good morning. Savva here from Football Heritage TV. I hope that everybody is good. Lovely, lovely morning today. There's already 144 of you in the chat. Good morning, wherever you are in the world. It's 4 minutes past 10 here in London. And let's have another chat about Spurs. And the hope is that every day, the hope is that today is the day. Today's the day we sign some centre-backs. Let's just all keep saying that, and at some point, it's got to become true. Where are we at the world of football? First of all, before we start, housekeeping. Come on, we all know the rules. Smash the like button on your way in. As I said, there's 153 of you now. Only 40 likes. Just smash the like button, smash the subscribe button if you haven't already. We're now about 130 subscribers away from 7,500. So if you haven't done that, please just smash the subscribe button as quickly as possible. It really does help. And big up to Kevin Baden, who has become a channel member. Big up, Kevin. I think you messaged me. I think we spoke briefly last night on YouTube. Welcome to you. As I said to the members only chat room that we've got yesterday, we will be having some member only shows next year. So if you want to be involved in that, there is a membership option. And I very much look forward to seeing you all there. What's happening in the world of football? So in the last 24 hours, Ange Postecoglou has given a press conference saying that we will sign 2 centre-backs. Is Ashley Phillips one of them? Is Longley one of them? Is it going to be Tapsoba and Van der Ven? I mean, the same questions go round and round. Lo Celso apparently is very much wanted by Aston Villa. Let's get him out. Let's start again. I know he played well the other day, but I want to see new faces, fresh blood. Let's go. Let's move on. In other news, Pierre Aubameyang has joined Marseille. Harvey Barnes has got the here we go for Newcastle United at £38 million. Who else has signed? Jordan Henderson is joining El Ettifaq to go and join with Steven Gerrard. We've had the here we go for what could be one of the biggest signings for a long time, which is Josko Vardiol to Man City for, I believe it's 75 to 80 million plus add-ons. So I think the deal's looking at 95 to 100 million. As we said, Harvey Barnes, Newcastle. You've got Riyad Mahrez has had the here we go as well. He's going to Al Ahly to join from Man City. You have also got the here we go for one of our ex-players on loan last year, Arnaud Danjuma, is joining Everton. Aston Villa have put in another bid for Diaby of Leverkusen. So there's lots happening. I'm sure I've missed a few there. Onana is now officially a Man United player. PSG are insisting apparently on Bradley Bacalo from Olympique Lyonnais. It's all happening. Eric Bailly didn't travel with Man United amidst reports that he is set to join Al Nassr. Alex Telles has left Man United. It's all happening, isn't it? It's all happening apart from at Tottenham Hotspur. We need something to happen soon. As always, get any questions in or any subjects you want to talk about. Make sure you put a big Q in front of it so I know that that's the subject you want to talk about, or the or a question you've got. Put it in there to have it guaranteed to be read out. Obviously, you can put in a super chat, but as always, before we say hello to people in the chat, smash the like button, smash the subscribe. Let's get it over 100 likes before the next 10 minutes so that we can just crack on with the stream and we can take it from there. Where are we? Hopefully the picture's good for everyone. My Wi-Fi is saying it's low, but as far as I can see, it looks decent. So where are we? Lots of people in the chat, all the usual. We got Char 321 said, I was expecting a Thursday morning rant. Yeah, I'd tell you what, I changed it from a rant to a chat a couple of weeks back. It does feel very much, if we get into next week with no new signings, I will be changing the name back to a morning rant. Absolutely. Beyond has said, feel sorry for Ange, even if he gets centre backs when he has the Kane saga to deal with. Yeah, absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, as I've always said, if Kane goes, he goes. I just want us to start this season afresh in whatever we do. Good morning to Hod God 10. Good morning to Vinny Rowley. Big up to Adam McFarlane as well. He thinks we'll get Mickey Van de Ven and Nelson of Galatasaray. Danny said, morning all, and says we'll sign 2 centre backs, will we? Dan, as a channel member, thank you very much. I appreciate your support. Will we? I think we will. I think it just depends on who those 2 are going to be, and that's always the problem. It's like when people say, oh, we don't spend money. We always spend money. We just spend it really badly. We don't seem to go and actually buy top players, or not top players. You know, I'm not expecting Vardials. You know, I've said that for the last couple of years when people were going, just go and get Vardial. And then anyone who thinks we could, the reason we couldn't is because a club like Man City have just blown everyone else out of the water and gone and got him. Yeah, Dan Juma to Everton. Yeah, that's a done deal now. Big up to Brian Daigle. I hope you are well, my friend. Hope all is well. Big up Dan G. Big up Finn Rickwood. Hello to Lenny Moon. Hello to Daryl. Daryl does not like Levy and Enoch. Big up, Daryl. Hope you're well. Yeah, Circus FC. Sean has said, morning, Savva. 5-0 win last night for us, buzzing. Be interesting to see what you guys do. Now, both Arsenal and Chelsea won 5-0 last night. But, Sean, I've got your Chelsea, aren't you, I think? Yes, pre-season Chelsea and Arsenal both 5-0s. Did you watch the game? Did anyone impress you particularly? Let me know. Good morning to Keith. Morning, Sean. Morning to Eamon. Morning to Wilson. Yeah, we've been hoping for a here we go for a while, haven't we, mate? Listen, absolutely. Listen, it doesn't matter who you support. You're allowed in my stream. We're all football fans. I think it's really important that football fans don't create their own little bubble, right? I think it's really important to speak to other fans, get other perspectives as well. Big up to Meow Kaba 369. Higher to you as well. Jess Charles, just I can't go through everyone. There's so many people in this chat. South Coast Spurs girl, big up to you. Big up to Kate over at Just a Girl Who Loves Spurs. Morning to you. Go and subscribe to Kate. Always good entertainment with Kate as well. Would you believe it? I'm sorry to all my other members, but this has got to be the most famous member we've had so far. It's Donna Cullen. It's Donna Cullen from the Tottenham Hotspur board. Always a good fun account. Big up to you, Donna. I hope you are well. I would love to know one day who runs this account. But thank you very much for becoming a channel member. It is much appreciated. And get your wallet out. Get your mate Daniel to get his wallet out, and let's buy some centre backs. Wolves Finland has said Savva Spurs chat. Do I think playing good football against West Ham, no balance offensively, defensively, when Moyes' tactics was sitting deep? Of course, there's lots of possession and shots. Yeah, listen, I think that this whole thing about whether or not Spurs played good football or not, I think it is really, for me, that's what we saw there should be the norm in terms of having a lot of the ball, pressing. But I think what it is, we've been starved and choked of this football for so many years that I think people are just happy to have seen some football. By the way, I did see a few people last night trying to shit stir. By the way, anyone who's trying to shit stir between me and Tottenham away, me with Stel, me with Will, I spoke to Will and Stel last night. It won't work. Putting in messages in their chat that I've said things about them live on my stream when I haven't won't work. All right, it won't work. I speak to them. So stop. I'm not saying it's anyone that's in here, but just if you hear that message, it really is silly. I know which accounts as well. People think we don't all talk to each other, but we do. We do. Reno THFC, big up to you, has said Bissouma, Solomon, Madison looking lively. We need the 2 centre-backs. I want the Kane stuff to end, and I'd rather we sell him now and replace him with 2 guys that can get 15 goals each per season. I think this is going to be one that drags. I think he'll stay, Reno. If I'm brutally honest, I think he'll stay. I can't see anyone putting in the bid. What I would sell him for is completely irrelevant. It's what Daniel Levy will sell him for, and I don't think he's going to let him go anywhere near the fee that anyone's going to pay for him. Big up, there are now exactly 300 of you in the chat. Smash the likes, please subscribe. Let's get to 7,500 as quickly as possible. We're 135 away, and we'll start doing some giveaways a little bit later. Dominic Carney said, nice win this morning. Dominic is Chelsea nice win this morning against Wrexham. Nice passes around the box. Poch got his shape right first half. Was a back four, and second was three at the back. Again, look, I think it's the same thing as Ange. Poch is a new manager going in, testing out what works, trying to implement his philosophy. I wouldn't read too much into the score, Dominic. Just the way you play is the important thing. By the way, I'm not missing questions. I am starring them, so please don't think that I'm missing every question. I just have to let the chat settle down a little bit. Someone's asked predictions. We'll go into that in a minute. Joe Buck has said Spurs have to sell Kane. Let the man go. Levy is the biggest problem at this club. Look, I agree. Levy is the biggest problem at the club. I think that the problem you're going to have there is when we say just letting him go, how much are we wanting to sell him for, I guess is the question. I mean, so far the biggest bid has been 80 million euros, which is 68 million pounds. You want to sell him for 68 million pounds? Is that good business when people like Florian Balogun of Arsenal are going for like 50 million? I'm not so sure, but one thing is for sure, at some point, we're going to have our answer. He either stays or he goes. Who else we got in the chat? Leah said, I'm sick of the flux of players going to Saudi. Unfortunately, money talks. What is the issue with them going to Saudi, Lee? There's the question I'll ask you. What is the initial problem with them going? If it's just the money, cool. But listen, other countries are allowed to set up leagues to try and rival the Premier League and Europe, right? So, hey, that'll be very interesting. Philly 2109 has said, regarding Tapsoba, I would suggest seeing how it goes. Anyone suggesting a deal is close because Alistair Gold said so. Don't be a lemming. Don't believe until you see it. Look at Sean. When you say look at Sean, what do you mean? But yeah, I agree with you. I don't think a deal is close. I think that we're just so slow, aren't we? I mean, it's been nearly a month now of talks with Bayer Leverkusen. And I reckon in the end it will be Mickey van der Ven anyway. But players are moving. Lots of players are moving. Morning to you as well, Tottenham fan doing stuff. Morning to Paul Hancock. Quinny, I said no centre-backs by next week. It should be more than a rant. Yeah, listen, there's only so many words I'm allowed to say on my YouTube channel before you get demonetized, so to speak. As I said, thank you to the two people that just subscribed. If there's 338 of you in here, I'm sure at least 38 of you haven't subscribed. Please smash that button. It really would mean a lot. Ultras Kenny has said, Savva, I think you'll sort it out. It will be mental if Levy don't sign two centre-backs. You will have two new centre-backs when the first games start. I know, but I mean, for me, it's about they should be in pre-season. They should be learning with the rest of the players, right? I didn't, Johan. I haven't seen any of the goals from that game last night. I'll go and check it out. I didn't know it was happening, to be honest. I knew there was a few friendlies, but I didn't know it was happening. Daniel said massive pressure on whoever the new centre-backs are. Would like them to have been here already. Preparation. Absolutely, Daniel. This is the point. Sean made a point last night that, if we sign at two new centre-backs or a new centre-back on the 10th and our first game is, the 11th or 12th, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there going, right, go on, in you go. Go on with your new teammates. Be brilliant from game one. It's a bit tough. MJR Assassin has said the fact that Wolfsburg last season were mid-table, the main reason we weren't relegated was due to Van der Ven. Spurs make the move and you'll be laughing. Yeah, I like the guy. The more and more I see of him, I think he looks really, really good. Everything about him looks very good. And we're just messing about. Mara's left City. Yeah, again. So far, Man City have bought in Josko Vardiol. Ridiculous. And Kovacic. They've lost Mahrez and Gundogan. Look, Pep knows what he's doing. Like, let's be really, really honest. If anyone here was a Man City fan, would any of you worry about Pep Guardiola's decision-making? Like, you just wouldn't worry, would you? You don't worry about that board. You don't worry about him as a manager. They will get it right. Already people going, oh, I think they're going to be weaker this year. Watch, they'll be fine. They always are. Sean said, yeah, Chelsea. Yeah, Chelsea. Okay, Andre Santos, Mol, Gusto, and Casade stood out. And Kunku, yeah, listen, I've seen little bits of Casade. I don't know a lot about Santos, and Gusto's got a really good reputation. And Kunku, I've seen a lot of. Top player. You've got a top footballer there. I think he'll do wonders for you this season. Exactly. Smash the like. No, not like Stan. No. Not like that. Just smash the likes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Levy's. That's where the budget is. The transfer budget has gone on Donna Cullen's YouTube subscriptions. Where are we? There's so many comments. I'm so sorry. We will get that. We will get there. I will start a lot of the questions. Where are we? Listen, I will just block this comment immediately. So pretty pointless putting that up. Where are we? Let's get to some questions. Actually, before we do, this is interesting. Yeah. XXX Toka XX Bocker. Great name. I said, embarrassing. Rooney saying Kane's a prisoner is a joke. Situation needs sorting one way or the other. Right. So I was having this conversation yesterday. Is Harry Kane a prisoner? No, he's a contracted footballer that when he signed a new contract, signed it for what, 5 or 6 years, whatever it was, at 250 grand a week. I don't think that's imprisonment. If it is, someone come and take me hostage, right? Listen, he signed the contract. Again, he's not being a prisoner. If someone pays enough money, they'll get him. It's that simple. Pay the money, you will get him. Life doesn't have to be as difficult as people make out. Rooney, obviously, he wants him to go to Man United. I get it, but Rooney's wrong. He's not a prisoner. Foggy Foamer said, we desperately need Tapsoba. Tell me something I don't need. I don't know, my man. Not that I don't need. Razor Ruddock on TalkSport this morning thinks Kane should stay, and he's shocked that no real big clubs are coming in for him with a serious bid. He thinks he will stay and go for free next year. I think that is why. I mean, are we shocked massive clubs haven't come in with a big bid when he's free next year? I'm not shocked. I'm more shocked that big clubs other than City 2 years ago haven't in the last 3 or 4 years. This summer, I get it. I do. I get it. Big up my man Charlie over at Blue Brothers. Anyone who does like Chelsea content, any Chelsea fans in the chat, I'm sure you know Charlie and Blue Brother. Go over and subscribe to his channel. You can find me on there every other week. Great guys, Charlie. We met at William Hill, had a right good laugh, good chat about football. Yeah, this is the worry. My worry is you guys need a centre half, and we'll probably just go bish, bash, bosh. We've needed centre halves for 5 years, and we're still talking about it, mate. Still, we've not bought for me a proper centre half, a top centre half in 5, 6, 7 years, 8 years, 9 years. I think we bought Toby Alderweireld in 2015. That was the last proper centre half we bought, in my opinion. Where are we? Loads of questions. I am saving them. I promise you. Daniel Parker said, massive respect to you, Savva. Arsenal fan here and love your streams. Always respectful with well-informed opinions. I'm not always respectful. If people wind me up, I do go at them. I'm not gonna say I'm always respectful, but I think I'm respectful to other clubs. I just don't think that I go mad at belittling everybody else's signings the way other Spurs fans do. Where are we? There's so many comments. Big up to absolutely everyone. Yeah, they don't. Do they? City don't worry about anything. I mean, my mate messaged me last night and said, "Oh, look, they've lost. They've lost Mahrez. They've lost Gundogan. They might lose Walker and Laporte. They're going to be weaker." I said, "Well, hang on. Let's break this down. First of all, Mahrez is never guaranteed a game. World-class footballer, but he's never guaranteed a game. So they've got the likes of Bernardo Silva Alvarez, Grealish, Foden that all play those wide roles and attacking midfield roles. Gundogan, all right, great player. But they're bringing in players like Kovacic. They'll bring in somebody else. Carl Walker. Yeah, Carl Walker's getting on a bit. Top player. Wasn't always first choice. They'll be absolutely fine. They've just signed. They've got John Stones, Ruben Diaz, Nathan Ake, Vardial, Akanji. Like, they're going to be absolutely fine. But this is what every fan does. And the moment Man City don't start with 10 wins in a row, people will go, oh, they've lost it this year. Then they'll come back with a run of wins and everyone will go, oh, they're too good, they cheat. Yada. Right. Ram, did you watch? No, I didn't watch the Arsenal game. No, I didn't. I heard they won 5-0 and Declan Rice made his debut. No, I believe it was like 1:30 in the morning. And listen, I'll watch Arsenal games if they're on in the Premier League. I'm not gonna watch them at 1 in the morning in a friendly. Roger Tyler, big up Roger, has said, morning. It's interesting that Ange said they haven't started working on defending yet. Maybe an indication that he's waiting for the new centre-backs before starting. Maybe we're waiting for Laporte. Roger, you were doing so well until Laporte. I just can't... Listen, if Spurs pull off Laporte, it will be the best signing the club's made for 2 decades. There you go. I'll say it. But I can't see it. I can't see that this man would join Tottenham. I can't see that this would be his only option. I think bigger clubs would come in and want Aymeric Laporte. That's just my opinion. Lots of people come out with the lines and say, sell him a project, sell him a plan. But isn't he a 29-year-old international that has just won the treble that plays for Spain? At 29 years of age, do you want a project? Really? But we'll see. Look, Roger, fingers crossed. I'd love to come on and say, hey, I was wrong. We got Laporte. We just don't make those signings. Look at the fuss to get a Van der Ven over the line. Can you imagine a Laporte who's going to want, I don't know, what do we reckon Laporte's on? 300k a week? I don't know, 250? I just don't think so. Is this Van der Ven and Tapsoba deal ever going to, is this Van der Ven and Tapsoba deal ever going to get done and get them integrated in the team? I've never seen a team in all my days take so long to sign players. It's embarrassing. Yeah, I genuinely don't think at this stage that both will get done, David. I truly don't believe it. If they do, fair play to them. That's how we should be acting. I just don't think we will. You think in the time since we first made contact with Leverkusen and Wolfsburg, Man City and Arsenal have had a bidding war and Declan Rice has moved and made his debut. Like, that's what we're talking about here. £105 million signing in that time got done, a bidding war signed, and Arsenal fans were annoyed at how long it took Declan Rice to get through the door. God, try being a Spurs fan if you think that's bad. Oh, wow. Donna Cullen, here we are, has said, Australia was wonderful. We made many new customers in Australia. That's where all the money for membership gifts for 5 lucky fans here came from. Big up, Donna. Thank you very much for the super chat. I do like that your revenue is in rupees. I do like that, but thank you very, very much. Bush Ranger said, morning, Savva Dog. All right, Sav Dog, cool. I'll take that. It's quite a cool nickname, isn't it? What do you think about Sarr going to France? Do you think we should let him go out on loan? If so, would you rather it be to a Premier League club to get experience? I didn't hear about this. I mean, look, if Sarr is going to go out on loan, I think it must be because we've got an idea of what we want the midfield to look like. I think the difficulty is going to be, obviously, that we're only playing once a week. So there's not going to be room for everyone to play as many minutes as they'd like. Listen, I don't know. I'd like him to go to a Premier League club, but would a Premier League club want him? I suppose that's what we've got to look at. I knew this was going to come. Serie A defender of the year, not a proper centre-half. I'm not even going to get into the Romero stuff. Listen, what I mean is in terms of when we signed Toby and Jan, and these guys were immense. This guy's not. Rafa said, if we're umming and ahhing about centre-halves, then I'd prefer that we sell Kane and bring them in. I'm sick of the team having gaping holes to plug. Yeah, Raf, I think you can look at this two ways. First and foremost, I think we all agree, mate, that it shouldn't need to sell Harry Kane to get Van der Ven and Tapsoba through the door. It should just be that we're going out and getting that business done. If it is a case that we had to do that, then I agree with you. I think at some point, look, we will be fine scoring goals. We'll be absolutely fine. We've got goal scorers. We've got attackers. We'll buy more attackers. But at the back, we're just so bad. TB, good morning from Massachusetts. Good morning to you as well from there. Ben has said it's like they've forgotten who Man City's manager is. Yeah, Ben, I think when I hear this every year about Man City, is they say, oh my God, yeah, but I don't, Pep's, oh, he's made a bad one. He let Cancelo go. What's he doing? Listen, next year, I was speaking to Daps about this the other day, Man City FC Daps. I think that Man City are just going to literally play. I think they're going to play no fullbacks at all in the club. I think it's going to be 4 centre-halves every game with the 3 at the back, one John Stones or whoever pushing into midfield. And he'll revolutionise football like he keeps doing. So, hey, it is what it is. Dale said we should go for Bremer. Reports that we are. I don't know if we have. Again, I'd like Bremer next to Van der Ven would be good for me. Brute power and force alongside a more silky player with good legs and good engine. Jim, Spurs till I die. Big up Jim and said Spurs we have more chance of doing the quad than getting Laporte. Yeah, I just can't see it. I just can't see it happening. I think when I say that, people always go, oh, you don't want Laporte. And it's like, of course I want Laporte. I just can't see it. For me, cool. I'll tell you what, if Spurs went out right now and said, do you know what? Boom, there's Laporte, join our back 4. I'll go out and I'll buy 5 Laporte shirts from the Spurs Club shop. I'll buy 5 Laporte shirts and give them away. You've got that. Someone screen it, clip it, whatever. 5 shirts. I just don't think that we're attractive enough at this stage for him. I really don't, but that's me. Ash the Fun has said, Savva, I love your streams, geez. Who would you rather stay at the club? Ndombele or Celso? I'd rather Lo Celso. But to be honest, I think both should be cashed in now. I think we've seen both enough. And let's get the funds and buy the players we actually need. That's just me, though. That's just me. Liam has said, I'll go one step further. I don't think we'll get Van der Ven or Tapsoba. It will be Phillips and Longley. Let's be honest, Liam. If it is Phillips and Longley, the only 2 centre-halves coming through the door this window, that will have been just a shambles. That would be absolutely embarrassing. And there will still be fans that will come in my chat and say, oh, you're negative. Trust in Ange. It'll be like, well, they're not his signings, are they, if they come in? Yeah, he is. He is excruciatingly painful. Never going to change until one day he does. Laporte signed a 6-year deal. Man City, 120 grand a week. I mean, look, we should be able to pay 120 grand a week. I just don't think that we're going to be attractive enough. That I'll say it. I don't think we're going to be attractive enough. Savdog Woof Woof has said, I like Sarr as he seems really good at one-touch passing and he's the perfect type of player for a possession-based team. Yeah, I mean, what I've wanted to see the last 2 years, I've wanted to see more of him. Like, people keep saying they really like him and that. And I'm like, well, what are we watching? Because I don't think he's getting any minutes. We saw 45 minutes of him the other night. I think we saw him against Inter Milan. AC Milan because everyone else was injured when he played alongside Skip. And then 45-minute cameo against Palace. And other than that, we don't really give him a game, which makes me ask why. Big up SOF. They said, good evening from Maui, Savva. Been here a week and still no centre-backs. Well, there could be worse places to be, my man, couldn't there? I hope you're enjoying your holiday. Sounds a lot better than... Well, it is glorious sunshine here in South London. So maybe... no, listen, enjoy Maui, my friend. Enjoy Maui. It's get a bit more light in here. Q7, big up channel member. I hope you're well. We're now friends on Instagram as well. What I would say, everybody as well, I'm going to be doing a lot more on my Instagram page. So if anyone wants to go over and subscribe or follow, and I do follow back as well. So Instagram is just Football Heritage TV. Please get over there now and follow. And I do follow back and I do interact. I like to pride myself on the fact that I do interact on YouTube, on Instagram. I interact with everybody. Some YouTubers just don't. Gets me in trouble. But hey, we do what we do. Skinny Lee said Sarr should stay. He is brilliant. Yeah, listen, I'm cool with him staying. I just don't know how we can call him brilliant. We've seen so few minutes of him. But look, let's see. Obviously, it'll be down to Ange in the end. I do agree with this. What I've seen of him, he looks better than Skip. I'm not a Skip fan per se. I think he does okay. Tony Rodriguez said, why do some fans say we're a big club? A big club wins trophies at regular intervals. We're not even top 6 anymore. Can't even sign centre-backs. We're a joke. I'd still say we are a top 6 club. I don't think falling out of the top 6 for one season automatically means we're not a top 6 club. But there is work to be done for sure. Are we a big club? Historically, yes. Right now, though, it is becoming harder and harder and harder to justify the big club position, isn't it? Thank you very much for 2 people who just subscribed. Guys, at the moment, this is where we're at. This is where we're at on the subscriber front, 7,370. If we can get that to 7,420 by the end of the show, I will give away a Spurs shirt. Is that fair enough? Is that fair enough? That's 50 subscribers. What we're going to do here is I'm going to do a giveaway. Hang on, where we go? First one in chat. What should we do? We'll do a hashtag Kane. Right. Okay. Here's what we need to do. So 50 subscribers, exactly 50 subscribers. You can all see it. Okay, right. So now 47 subscribers. We've gone up by 3. 47 subscribers and 250 likes. We're already on 158 likes. So 47 more subscribers. What you need to type into the chat is hashtag Kane. Okay. I've just tapped it in so you can all see it. So it's hashtag Kane. Harry Kane's name twice. Okay. If you tap that in, and if we get another 47 subscribers throughout the show, then we will give away a shirt of your choice with the name of your choice on the back. It can be Spurs, it can be Chelsea, whatever you want it to be. I will go through some of these comments very, very soon. Where are we? Ben, what did we hear here first? Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. Got it. Ben, if you could do me a favor, if you could put my link in the chat for the subscribing. And then once we get to, 47 more, we will give away a shirt. John has said, Savva, if we sell Kane, is Tony a good call? I'd take him. I think you'd have to, right? I don't think there's many goal scorers out there. He is one. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of cloud around everything that's just happened with him. But look, people deserve second chances in life. So let's see what happens there. Donna Cullen coming in with another super chat. Are you all right there, Donna? I said, if revenue is AUD, does it look more sexy? I mean, this is madness. How are you getting more than one revenue in your chat? Wow. Okay. Big up. Let's get to some of these questions. There are so many. There are so many. So apologies. And by the way, yeah, as I said, 39 people so far. Hashtag Kane. I think what I would say is I would say that Sarr looks good for potential. But I do think sometimes when we say things like they're brilliant, they're quality, they're class, I don't know how we can when we've seen so little of them. I think that's the key thing for me. And the other day, Lo Celso had a good 45 minutes and all of a sudden it was, oh, hang on, we shouldn't sell him. Let's be fair. As a club, we need to move. We need to evolve. We need to get money in. If selling Højbjerg, Lo Celso, Sanchez, if these players get the money in, move them on, move. So I tell you what, someone sent me this morning. Here we go. So if you look, I don't know if anyone can see that. Look at that. That is what you do in a transfer window when you want to get rid of people. Look at that. What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. No, hang on. Is that good maths? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 players. And there's somebody in my garden. Look, can you see that? There is motion at your garden. 11 players gone in one window. Right? And our fans go, oh, I don't know. possibly we could keep Lo Celso now. And it's like, oh God, no. If a bid comes in, let's move them on. Let's freshen it up. Isn't anyone excited to get new players in, like fresh players in? Nobody wants that shirt, man. All right, well, nobody has to have that shirt. It's absolutely fine. It's just it's just an offer that's gone out there. And we're now 45 away, so it's up to people. I'm trying to give something away free. If people don't want it, then I'm sure people will find the negative in that, but it is what it is. Let's go to some questions, shall we? Halt with the questions for a minute because I need to get through all the ones that we've had so far. Loads of people. Do I do fan shows? I do sometimes, but I just find that when I do that, lots of people come on and start talking over each other and get really, really silly. Philly, thank you so much. Said hit the likes and subscribe to one of the most balanced YouTubers around, my brother Savva and his amazing chat. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate that. Always appreciate your support. Look, I am balanced. The problem with being balanced is that you then get called a fan of other clubs. Please bear with me. Apologies. That was a balanced sneeze. Unfortunately, by the way, this won't work. It's got to be Kane. Hashtag Kane next to each other like this. Like that. That's what it needs to be. No gaps. Hashtag Kane. Yeah, what was I saying? Yeah, the problem is when you try and be balanced, when you try and look at things diplomatically, people just go, oh, you're a Man City fan. Like, because I think Man City will win the league. Oh, you're a Man City fan. You love Man City. No, I don't. I just love football and I appreciate a good team. But hey, it is what it is. Adam has said, watch Dan Zuma at Everton when he gets minutes. Be interesting to see what he does there, wouldn't it? It'll be interesting to see. I mean, Everton are a funny old team. But look, does what's his name? Sean Dyche. Don't know why I forgot that. Does Sean Dyche go back to the 4-4-2 that served him so well at Burnley? Does he not? What does he do with Dan Zuma? Does he play as a winger, a wide forward? What's he going to do? It's all going to be very interesting. We're now only 41 away. 41 away. So we've had 9, but 41 away, and we will give away the shirt live on air. I won it last time, didn't I? Did anyone see that? Donna Cullen back in again. This time with a different. How are you constantly putting all this money in different currencies? So can you ask everyone to put hashtag Cullen for chair nan? Is that meant to be chair nan or chairman or where are we? Let's go to some of these questions. No, Rory Jennings won't come on and have a debate with me about Tottenham. He doesn't know anything about our club. Rory's done well to get where he's got to, right? But he's got there by being an absolute fraudulent clickbait merchant, if that's what we want to call it. But hey, fair play to him for getting where he is. I've got a friend who knows him, says he's a nice guy. I'm sure he is, but just his takes are terrible and he spouts it all over, shows. It's bad. Neil has said, here in Italy, Juventus have confirmed that Bremer will be leaving. I'd take Bremer all day long. I'll be honest, if Spurs got in Bremer and Van der Ven as their centre-back pairing, I'm all over that. Even Bremer, Romero and Van der Ven in a kind of Man City free with Porro or whoever going that way, I'd be all over that. DMT85, if you ask very, very nicely, or if I ask very, very nicely, Ben Kaufman will put it in. Ben, could you put the link to being a channel member? And thank you in advance. Ben, if you put that link in for me, you will be much appreciated. I'm sure you might have already, but I'm so far behind. Where are we? Jordan Pierce said, good morning, Savva. Can I get a shout out to my wife, Shelby? We are having our first child and we're both huge Spurs fans from Tennessee. I hope you're well too. Well, first of all, congratulations to you and Shelby. When is Bubba due? Do we know if it's a boy, if it's a girl? Have you got little Spurs baby outfits and baby grows and stuff? Congratulations to you and hello to Shelby. Thank you for your continued support, Jordan. Yeah, I know. Sorry, I'm going to some questions now. I will. The problem is there's so many people in the chat. There's so many. Michael has said, I'm a Newcastle fan. My bros made me subscribe so we can win a Spurs shirt. What do you think of the Barnes deal? I'll answer this, then do some questions. First of all, I do lots of content other than just Spurs. So stay subscribed. By the way, though, we need the 40. We need 40 more subscribers. 40 more out of 449. It shouldn't be difficult, and then we can give away a Spurs shirt or any shirt. There we go. There you go. Link for the channel is there. Right. In terms of Harvey Barnes, I think it's a good deal for Newcastle. I think that what I said about Newcastle was the biggest thing you guys needed to do this year was build a squad for the Champions League. Not every player is going to be a star player, but what Eddie Howe has shown already is that he gets in players who know the league, who are professional and do a good job, right? It doesn't always have to be a world beater. When you look at Dan Burn, Trippier, Botman, what he's done with Pope, what he's done with Willock, what he's done with Almiron. He's a good coach. He'll get the best out of him. I think for 38 million, squad depth, good player. It looks like St. Maximan's going out the other way. I think he'll be absolutely fine. Let's have a look at some of these questions. Okay, I'll rattle through these as quickly as possible. 24 said, what do you think about Basuma almost becoming the main guy in the squad? I like it. Seems good for morale. Absolutely. I would build the midfield around this guy. I think he's quality. Another thing I thought Conte got wrong, if I'm brutally honest. This was a really top signing that we didn't make the most of. 2 more people have subscribed. Keep subscribing, people. This was a good player that I don't think Conte made the most of. Special one, I said early season top 5 predictions. Now, okay, this will be with where clubs are right now, not at the end of the window. I would go Man City to win the league, Liverpool to finish 2nd, Arsenal to finish 3rd, Man U to finish 4th, and I think that Chelsea will finish 5th. As it stands, we'll see. Luciano says, "Good morning, Savva. You've talked a lot about the centre back and DM positions. How do you feel about our fullback options, Royal Spence, Doji Davis?" The right side scares the bejesus out of me. If I'm lying, if I'm being honest, nearly got that right. Royal Spence not good enough. Porro can't defend. Doji looks very good though. That's promising for me. I do feel like there's so much that needs to be done though that it won't all get done in this window. Jim Spurs has said, Savva, what chance does anyone have against Man City? They lose one player to get another just as good or better. Yeah, look, they've put themselves in that position, whichever way we look at it. Look at their business. I mean, Vardial at 75 million plus add-ons or whatever. He's probably the best young centre-back in world football. He'll give them how many years? When they sell him on, it will probably be for 150 million to Real Madrid or something in 5 years. Bringing in an accomplished winner like Kovacic at 25 million or whatever it was. They know how to do good business. Akanji at 15 million, Alvarez at like 14 million euros or whatever he cost. I think they're going to go and buy again. I think that they're losing a few. They'll replace a few. Some of the players from last year will have a year more experience. Foden, I think, will come centrally. I think you're going to see a lot more from Phil Foden next year. So I think they'll be absolutely fine. But yeah, how do you compete? That's the question that I suppose like the Arsenals and Liverpools are trying to figure out. Johan said, morning, Savva. Did you see the goals? No, I didn't. Oh, sorry, I've already done that one. No, I didn't, I'm afraid. Just a girl. Kate has said, had Edwardson. Who's that? Sorry, Edwardson last night telling me Romero is world class. How has the fan base come to that conclusion? I can't keep doing the Romero one. I agree. If anyone watches Romero and thinks he's world class, then they don't understand the art of defending. He's a decent player, but for me, so much left to be desired. We've done that one as well. I do, but not very regularly anymore because people ruin it, unfortunately. Chris, big up, Mr. Beresford, one of my favourites in the world, has said, question, and as I said many times, no outgoings either. Need to shift the deadwood, yet unrealistic valuations prevent this. Sanchez just released on a free. I think this is the thing, Chris. I think a few of them we'll have to let go on a free. I mean, like the first bid came in for Sanchez 10 days ago and we're still sitting here and we don't know what's happening. It's just how Daniel Levy works. Unfortunately, it will never change. All these people who said the stadium would change the way we operate as a club, it won't. It never will. Callum has said, thoughts on Gallagher and this Brazilian forward. Look, I've got nothing against Conor Gallagher. Right at this moment, though, I want centre backs. If we can go and spend 40 million pounds, 50 million pounds on Gallagher, go and get a 40, 50 million pound centre back. I don't know a lot about Pedro from Flamengo. This came up last night on Henry's show. I need to go and do some research. I don't know enough about him, I'm afraid. Guys, it looks like, and girls, it looks like we won't be giving away a shirt. There's just not enough people subscribing. We are still 40 away. It's up to you. And also, if you want it to be in for a chance, 70 people have already done it. Is hashtag Kane. That was Donna Cullen. We've done that. XX Tucker, XX Bocker with a super chat. Thank you very much, my friend. Has said, does the Kane mess affect the team? I don't reckon it does. I don't think it's the mess we think it is internally. Internally, I think they will know what's going on. I just think it's externally that we don't know. I don't think it will, mate. I think they'll all know what the situation is. I think they'll probably know, look, you can go if this bid gets hit. Kane will know what that number is. I think the rest of the team will just crack on as normal. I don't think it will. Only my opinion. I don't know. Richard says, Sav, brother, would you choose top 4 this year or Daniel Levy out? Daniel Levy out. Daniel, I mean, if you said to me we're going to finish 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and Daniel Levy would leave and we'd get a new, all day long, Richard. I've had enough. I had enough by 2007. We're in 2023. Sorry, we've already done that one. Chris, how do you come to the conclusion that Spurs are a Big Six club? Well, you come to that conclusion by many things. Trophy haul. You come to that by, if you look at league finishes over the last 20 years, we've been in the Champions League for how many of those seasons? I'm not sure if there are 6 bigger clubs than us. But listen, each to their own. I don't really care. If I'm honest, I don't really care. At the moment, that's all we'll ever be until we sort out the owners. Biblicality has said, Savva, do you think Jed Spence will turn good for Spurs? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Again, I need to see him. We've not seen him. That's the problem. I've not seen the guy to know if he's any good or not. We'll see. This will be one that rumbles on. I wouldn't be surprised if he did leave this window, though. Daniel Harris said, where do you place Zidane in your list of greats? Always been my fave player and saw a recent clip of him skinning people in a 5-a-side game. So elegant to watch. Zidane was just genius. Zidane was a genius. In terms of my list of greats, he doesn't make my top 10. If I'm brutally honest, he doesn't. I think for me, more than anything, it would be the fact that his longevity wasn't the same as some of the others. Class act, didn't really get going until 24, 25. But listen, I mean, maybe he sneaks into my top 10. I don't know. But, my top 5, he definitely doesn't get into with the likes of Maradona, Messi, the real Ronaldo, George Best, Cruyff, those types of players, Cristiano Ronaldo, Ronaldinho. But listen, top player, top footballer. Jordan said, we've done that one. Big up again. Ash Fun said, Savva, if Dele Alli comes good at Everton, would you like to see him work his way back into a Spurs shirt? Look, I said this the other day when doing a video about mental health, which is funny because of my last 30 videos, that was the lowest viewed video. Tells you a lot about mental health, doesn't it? Look, for me, I think what Dele Alli needs to do is go away, find his form again. He needs to go away and enjoy it, fall back in love with football, enjoy playing football. Is that coming back to Spurs at some point? Maybe, but would it be for nostalgic reasons? Would it be best for his career? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I just think he needs this year to go and enjoy himself again. Go and enjoy being a footballer. Get your form back. Enjoy it. Don't worry about other people. Enjoy it. Would be my advice if I could speak to Dele Alli. But sometimes going back to your old club won't be a great thing. Would Postecoglou get the best out of a player like that? Who knows? We'll see in the future. Santu, big up Santu, big support of the channel, just coming in with a super sticker. By the way, we are now, so thank you very much for that, Santu. We are now 38 away from giving away a shirt. It's up to you guys and girls. And then the last one I got is Donna Cullen again, being very, very generous today. Said, supposed to be hashtag Cullen for chairman, not Nan. I did think that was the case. Or Donna for chair Nan. I mean, that works both ways, but thank you very much. And now I've got 137 messages that I haven't seen. So forgive me. I'm going back into the chat now rather than my inbox. So, Skinny Lee has said, should we buy a second right attacking forward to compete with Kulu? I think Porro will be that guy. I would start Porro over Kulu. There you go. There's an unpopular opinion. I would start him over Kulu. Kulu for me has been really, really disappointing. Really disappointing for a very long time. Look, pre-season though, it's his chance, isn't it? Play himself into form. It's up to him. He's got to do it. Where are we? There's so much. Ben making a coffee. Oh, has he left us? How dare he? How dare he? Brian's put the link in the chat. Thanks, Brian. Much appreciated, man. Right, let's get to where are we? I think that Harvey Barnes would have fitted in Spurs better than Newcastle. What makes you say that, Lynn? Why won't he fit into Newcastle? I don't understand that, but obviously let me know your reasonings. They have a Greek name, Savva. Said you were a clown because you don't think Romero's world class. They can say what they want. I mean, listen, I'll be brutally honest with you, Kate. If anyone watches Romero, yeah, you can say he's good if you want to say he's good. But if anyone watches a player like Romero and says that is world class, then football has finished. Then everyone is world class. Come on, let's at least, to be world class as a centre back, you need to be brilliant in the tackle, not rash, good in the air, great positioning, leadership. He hasn't got those things. Biblicality says, Savva, where do you see Spurs finishing? At the moment, I think 7th or 8th. I think if we can get the centre-backs sorted out, it could be, depending on the centre-backs, anywhere between 4th and 6th. I think it all depends. These two centre-backs are so important. Thomas has said, how did the likes of Conte and Mourinho get it so wrong with the quality of our attacking forwards as shown in Angie's first match? Look, I would say that we scored a lot of goals under both Conte and Mourinho. I wouldn't knock them for that. It was just a style of play. Now, what I would say is, again, listen, people will say I'm biased, but I don't think Mourinho had these players that Conte had. I don't think he had as many good players. I think at the time it was literally Kane and Son. I think Conte had some very good players and didn't utilise them. But this gets me in trouble saying this. People now go back to other YouTube shows and go, Savva said this. Like, no, that's not quite what I said. Hey, it is what it is. Where are we? So we are now 37 away from a free shirt and just under an hour to go. I would take Douglas Luiz. Yeah, I would take Douglas Luiz for our midfield. Yeah, very good player. I can't see Villa selling him to us. I don't know. It's just me. I just can't see them selling it to us. I think they're on the up. I don't know why they would. Yeah, Pranay, I'll dip in and out when I'm not streaming. I'll dip in and out of the Women's World Cup, see what's going on. Hope everyone out there is safe, obviously, after all the news that came out last night. SOF has said Barnes adds Newcastle homegrown numbers in Europe, which is another reason they signed him. They can get rid of worse homegrown squad players. Yeah, I think it's a no-brainer. I think the guy, I was looking at his goal and assist contributions over the last 4 years. It's very good. It's very, very good. I think it's a no-brainer. As says, Spurs have 26 trophies and 6th most decorated team in England. Well, there you go. There you go. We'll go that way. Mark, come on. We've won trophies. Come on. We have won trophies, just not for 15 years. Keith has said, it doesn't look like the Glazers are selling anytime soon. Do you think it might be that the potential buyers start looking elsewhere? You can only hope, Keith. Keith, we can only pray. We can only hope. Yeah, let's really, really hope so. By the way, keep smashing the likes. Let's get it up to 250. There's 458 of you in here and only 214 likes. People are tight with their likes, aren't they? For the amount of work YouTube has put in for everyone is really tight. All we ask is that you click a free button. Phil Pierce said, newsflash, players leave football clubs all the time. Since the first football teams on Parkland were formed, Kane isn't going to die or never speak to the players again. He is maybe moving clubs. Yeah, absolutely, mate. I'm not bought. If he goes, he goes. If he goes, he goes. Basuma for captain. I don't know. Is he captain material? We'll see. We'll see. Is Maddison any good in tracking back? To be honest, I don't want my playmaker tracking back. I think that's the whole point of building a cohesive team around him. A cohesive team where you've got midfielders that do that doggy work. You've got the defenders that do it. I'm not saying he never has to track back, but I don't think that is why we bought James Maddison. We bought him for goals and assists and creativity. Great White has said, as I said so many times, Kane isn't going anywhere. Maddison would not have signed if Kane was going. The pair. I mean, look. What I would say is this is made up. You don't know this, right? There's a difference between your opinion and fact. When we're saying Kane and him are inseparable, they pair up in training and they were playing golf in Oz. Footballers leave football clubs, as Phil P just said. They don't stay because their mate is there. That's not quite how football works. God, where are we? There's a lot of things going on. Robert Wilson, big up, who's just become a channel member. Thank you so much. As I said, we do have some channel member-only chats. We're going to have some channel member-only shows as we get into August. So thank you for becoming a channel member. That is much appreciated. I really do appreciate that, my friend. Let's dip back into the comments. Simon Diaz said, "Oye, Savva, I'm flip-flopping more than a Brit slider on holiday. Start of the window looked good, so I was going to give Enoch out a second chance. 4 weeks later, we're like a stagnant pond. We stink." Look, even if we'd had a great window for 5 years in a row, I won't leaving Enoch out. They've had 23 years to get this right. Am I serious on what I'm saying about Zizou? What? I've literally just said he could be one of my favourite 10, 15 players that have ever played football. What do you mean, Caleb? Is there no other good footballers other than Zinedine Zidane? Is this going to be a thing now? Are we going to turn this into a thing? Listen, Zinedine Zidane was a great footballer. You're never gonna hear me say otherwise. But I don't put him anywhere near the likes of R9, anywhere near the likes of Maradona, Messi. I don't put him in that bracket, I'm afraid. But listen, that's only me. Don't get so worried about it. Yeah, I do think he's going to be a forward. He can't defend, can he, the bloke? He can't. He just simply can't defend. The subscribers have dried up. We are still 37 away. Looks like we won't be giving away a Spurs shirt today, people. But keep liking, keep subscribing. And the bigger we get, the more giveaways we do. It's that simple. Brian, big up my brother, has said, I couldn't agree with you more if I tried. Porro needs to only be played on the right wing and competition for Kulu. Porro can't defend, but he can certainly attack. I agree. The guy can't defend. It's going to be really interesting. For me, I think he's more effective than Kulu as well. I think Kulu, I'm going to say it, for me, feels a bit like a one-trick pony. We'll say. Benjamin, listen, if you're going to start being rude, this is the one warning. Don't stop being rude. Everyone's just having a football chat, right? I will just block you because it's not the channel we want to create here. It's not the environment we want. I've literally said he could possibly sneak into my top 10, but there's been some wonderful footballers, Benjamin, that unfortunately trolls like you probably won't remember. So, realistically, who would I bring in to replace Kane if he leaves? I don't think it'll be one player. I've said this many times. I think it'll be two younger forwards, quick forwards. It'll be more, I think, what Arsenal do, where they don't have one bloke scoring 30 goals, but they do have lots of players getting between 10 and 15. I think that's where we'll go. Peter Shaw said, Peter, this is why I can't take people seriously. We want to make everyone world-class centre-halves. Yeah, Virgil van Dijk, if we're looking at this era, Chiellini, Bonucci, right? John Terry, Rio Ferdinand, Maldini, right? Ramos, Thiago Silva. Like, this is just this era, the Bobby Moores, these top centre-halves. And people want to chuck Romero's name in with them. I just don't get it. Just on another full-on conversation about it though. Majin Fu, who's at my front door? Who's at my front door? Oh, the dogs are going for a walk. That's nice for them. The wife is taking the dogs out for a walk. Which two players leave first in the next 2 weeks or so? I think all the noises point to Davinson Sanchez and Lo Celso. I don't know. Sometimes the outgoings, they just come from nowhere, don't they? Suddenly you wake up and they go, boom, boom, this player's left. So I'm hoping that's what we get. Thank you to the person who's just subscribed to me. It really does mean a lot. Thank you very much. Yeah, I know, Mark. It's really, honestly, you put in the work rate, you graft, and people can't even just, you know, they can't just go, yes. Where are we? So many comments. I don't think anyone said get rid. Again, I think this is, unfortunately, people. Unfortunately, we do get people like Tells that come in the chat that can't understand the conversation. Unfortunately, these people haven't learnt the art of listening. No one said get rid of Romero. I was asked a hypothetical question the other day, which was, if you could get these 3 centre backs in for Romero, would you do it? And I said yes, the 3-for-1 I would, but I didn't ever say sell Romero just for no reason. I feel like this, you know, you're a bit of an idiot, aren't you, Tells? Well, we are a top 6 club, Caleb. Again, I think we found our clowns. We found our twats in the chat, haven't we? Caleb is definitely one of them. And the other one is definitely Tells. We found them. Billy, big up, has said, looks like Højbjerg's going to Atletico Madrid. Yeah, get the money in, reinvest, move. That's what we need to do. Big clubs do. Players in, get the money, reinvest, evolve. Yeah, it is going to be interesting, isn't it? Do you know what? I think he'd be perfect for Chelsea. Now, I know that won't happen, but I genuinely think he'd be perfect for Chelsea. I don't know what that means. No, there isn't. I don't know what that means. Tells is a clown. Caleb again, Spurs are not a top 6 club. Checking the last 30 years, Spurs won 1 cup, which is the least trophy in the league. It's not the least trophies in the league, is it? If you think, do you know what? I can't do these people today. I can't deal with these people today. Unfortunately, you get a lot of children. You get a lot of children. Tells. I mean, you've got to give me some more words. Name what? I mean, like, name what? Name them. Name what? Give me words. Try using sentences. Use words to put in sentences. Yeah, listen, I don't mind Kulu. I just think that everyone went massively overboard about him after 3 good months or 4 good months. We've not seen anything since. I need to see something from him this year. I really, really do. And big up Kate, who's just become a channel member. You didn't have to do that, but thank you so much. I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. As always, I will always do giveaways, channel member only chats. I try my best to be as interactive as possible. And unfortunately, you do get a lot of trolls that want to try and ruin things. But listen, one thing I'll always say is I try and interact as much as I can. Other YouTubers, I go on their shows, they don't talk to anyone in the chat. And yet I get so much hate because I interact with the chat. It really is a double-edged sword. Did I talk about Ashley Phillips? Look, when people say it looks like a top player for the future, what I would say is, I mean, how many people have seen him? How many people have seen him? That's the thing I would say. Yeah, Sol, listen, absolutely. Sol Campbell was a world-class centre-half. Whether we like him at Spurs or not, Sol Campbell, this is what I was talking about. So, yes, this is a sensible comment you've made. Sol Campbell was a world-class centre-half. That's how it works. Romero is not a patch on that. Romero couldn't lace his boots. Hey, it is what it is. Let's see if it does. Do people really think Zidane not in the top 10? It's crazy. It's been so, do people really think Zidane not in the top 10 is crazy? Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, listen, I think the problem is a lot of people don't really, like this said, don't really seem to understand how many great players there have been throughout the decades. It's, you know, I mean, Jesus Christ, Tells, the problem is you're a child and won't remember them. This is the problem. Straight away, if I look, Messi, Maradona, Ronaldo, there you go. They're straight away 4 better than Zinedine Zidane. Again, when we say better. They're all different. They're all so different, aren't they? Who else would I put into that bracket? George Best, who was coveted as the best player in the world. Yeah. Jimmy Greaves was coveted as the best goal scorer in the world at one point. Gert Muller. Geez, where am I going with this? Thank you. People helping me out. Jorginho. Yeah. Jorginho. The videos I've seen on that guy are just absolutely crazy. I mean, there's so many top players. Roberto Baggio, what a legend Roberto Baggio was. And Andreas Iniesta, was he not absolutely sublime? Xavi, was he not? Edgar Davids, Clarence Seedorf. Now, I'm not putting all of these in my top 10, but this is the problem. When you say top 10, there are so many top players there have been. So many top players. Yeah, absolutely. He's not at all. Absolutely not at all. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, for me as an attacking midfielder and a playmaker, yeah, he's one of the best that's ever lived. But I think the problem is a lot of people just want it to be this era. And I don't think it's just quite how it is. But Zinedine Zidane was crazy good, man. He was crazy good. But look, when I look at Zinedine Zidane, okay, for example, look at Lionel Messi. Lionel Messi was doing this from the age of 16. He's still doing it at 36. Zinedine Zidane didn't have that. I'm not knocking him for that, but there's just different players, different eras. Listen, they're not being rude, so I'm not going to block them. But unfortunately, they're not capable of more than like that. So, you just kind of leave them there to do their own thing. Yeah, I mean, George Best was Platini, George Best. People put in your Ronaldinho. I mean, wow. This isn't even a debate, Chris. Romero again, not fit to lace Gary Mabbutt's boots, not fit. And if Mark is in the chat, Mark Cousins, he'll go mad. Beckenbauer, Puskas, Eusebio. Oh my gosh, just so many top players. So many top players. Bobby Moore. Van Basten as well. Platini, Di Stefano. Cruyff, Xavi, Puskas, Busquets, Socrates, Johan Cruyff. Listen. Okay, I just want to say, you don't drag Juve, Madrid, and France. Those teams were sublime. King Jeffrey, please think about the words you used. You don't drag Madrid to titles. Real Madrid have been one of the biggest clubs in the world forever. They have got. It's just mad. Yeah, sure. Yeah, listen, I'm not saying, but by the way, if we think about it, Mr. Post Office, this is how crazy it is, right? I've not said Zinedine Zidane isn't great. I said, listen, he probably would slip into my top 10, but apparently because he's not in my top 5, it's terrible. Can't compare George Best and Greaves. The era of football was really poor. Billy, go away. Absolutely ridiculous. Everybody, clown of the day. Would everyone just like to tell Billy how good was George Best and Jimmy Greaves? Wow. Romario. Yeah, you're not, Caleb. You're not. Iniesta, Beckenbauer, Ronaldinho, Hoddle. I'll do this another day, Paul. I promise I'll do this another day. Off the top of my head, there's just too many, honestly. Maldini, Nesta, Baresi, Rude Hullet, Lothar Matthäus. I know, Brian. Anyone would think that I'm saying Zinedine Zidane's like terrible. It's just there's so many good players. George Best. I can't believe George Best, I've just been told, wasn't good. Hadji, Pele. How have I missed Pele? How have I missed him? Prime Dawson. He's a leader. He's a captain. He can head the ball. Doesn't dive in. Delit. I think we're seeing a theme here. We got Cruyff, Baresi. Baresi was one of the best defenders I've ever seen. Eusebio as a forward. Yeah, we're talking about players. We're not talking about midfielders. We're talking about players. Eric Dyer, of course. You've got to put Eric Dyer in there in my top 10. Ruud Gullit, Gaza, Hoddle, Bale. There's so many top players. There's so many top players that have played the game of football. And, I mean, Paul Gascoigne. Oh, my God, what a player Paul Gascoigne was. And he doesn't even make my top 10. Basically, what happened, AZ, is that somebody said, because I didn't, I mean, it wasn't like I've got a top 10, but I said like Zinedine Zidane for me would arguably not get into my top 10 of best players of all time. And now everyone's making out as though I've said he's about the level of you know, like Brian Hill or something. Did they score? So if a player doesn't score a winning World Cup goal in a final, it means they can't be one of the best ever. Interesting. I mean, Modric. Wow. Garrincha. What I've seen of Garrincha. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Dragged France. Yeah, dragged France. I'll tell you what. So I'm just going to do this really quickly. What year was it that France won the World Cup with Zinedine Zidane? France World Cup win Zidane. Right. Let's have a look. Anyone know what fight was it? Is it a 2006 World Cup final? 2006. So this was the team he dragged to a World Cup, right? This was the team he dragged. Can I find it? Fabian Barthez, Thuram, Abidal, Patrick Vieira, Claude Makélélé, Franck Ribéry, Thierry Henry, Trezeguet, Wiltord, Willy Sagnol. Where else? Sagnol. Yeah, look at those players. Dragged France to a right. And what was the other one? The World Cup '98 team. Honestly, football fans that don't know that they're arse from their elbow really need to go away and learn. Match. Okay, let's have a look at the team. This was the other team he played in that won the World Cup final. Sorry, that World Cup final he lost, didn't he? Sorry, the 2006 one they lost. This is the one he won. Fabian Barthez, Lilian Thuram, Frank Leboeuf, Marcel Desailly, Bazinti Lizarazu, Didier Deschamps, Emmanuel Petit, Yuri Zhukayev, Patrick Vieira, Christophe Dugarry, Alain Bagossian. yeah, he dragged them to a World Cup win. Honestly, it's absolutely this exactly. He's a legendary player. Don't need it to be on a list. I know on it, Dan G. That is football fans these days. I'm afraid that is football fans these days. I mean, so many. No. I'm saying I don't have a top 10. I'm just saying arguably could, arguably couldn't. Listen, I will stop blocking you if you start being an idiot. Yeah, Billy does come out with some absolute nonsense, doesn't he? He really does. Yeah, players like Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. I mean, Nesta, Thuram, Maldini. It's just absolutely. But when I hear that Greaves and Best weren't good, they were in a poor era. I mean, Greaves, Hoddle, and Waddle would struggle in this era. Honestly, where do these kids come from? Because Billy, again, every day, you do it every day. If I say I like a signing, you automatically go the other way. If I say I don't like it, you automatically go the other way. You can't say Jimmy Greaves and George Best weren't great to the game. That's not an opinion. That's ridiculous. Yeah, George Weah wasn't bad, and he doesn't make it into that list. Yeah. But oh my God, Batistuta, Bobby Charlton, Batistuta, Battigol. Who remembers Battigol? Zico, Dennis Law, Kevin Keegan, Dalglish. Wow, just wow. Wow. Lynn said, the problem is, Savva, some of your fans are too young. Yep, Lynn, I get it. But if you're too young, don't turn around and say George Best and Jimmy Greaves weren't good. I wasn't in that era. I've gone back and watched them. Phenomenal footballers. Thierry Henry, Sol Campbell was a world-class centre-half. Absolutely. Exactly. When people come up with this, I love these debates. I love these. Hopefully people in the chat like all this. This is what gets the people going. It's what gets the crowd going, people. Absolutely. All these people that go, oh, those players wouldn't cope now. Why? If those players were playing in this era, they'd be as fit as the players now and have the same luxuries the players do now. Back then, like you said, tackling was like GBH and the pitches were awful. Oh my, honestly, it beggars belief. Cantona, he weren't bad, was he? Good old Eric Cantona weren't a bad player. Jean-Pierre Papin. I mean, where'd you go? I mean, Valderrama, David, the Laudrup brothers, Stoichkov, Batistu. I mean, just some amazing players. Stanley Matthews, one of the greatest players of all time, they said, that was killed when he was young was Duncan Edwards. People will tell you of that era that he was the best player they'd ever seen. Keith has said Greaves and Best just glided across the pitch against the likes of Hunter and Chopper Harris. The problem is, Keith, the young kids of today won't remember that they were playing against the likes of Hunter and Chopper Harris. They won't remember that. I wanted to go and study these things when I was younger. I wanted to learn about these players. I wanted to have a look, it's just, man, absolutely. Yeah. These people, it's funny though. I like these sort of conversations. It's a breath of fresh air away from transfers, isn't it? Hey, please keep liking the stream. We're currently on 268. And please keep subscribing. We are stuck. We're still needing that 47 if anyone wants a free shirt. New channel members, as we said, Kate, thank you so much for becoming a new channel member. Jim, Spurs Till I Die, thank you so much for becoming a channel member. And Kesh Singh, thank you so much. Loads of channel members today. We will be doing channel member only shows where we don't get the silly children in, unless they're silly children. Van Average, who was Van? Who was Bang Average? Please let us know, Billy. Let us laugh. Who was Bang Average? AZ Spur, for me, Maradona is the greatest. Listen, he's in my top three. He is in my top three. Messi is my greatest, but Maradona is there. He's class, just class footballers. Absolutely class footballers. I'd love to know a bang average France team. It does make you laugh, doesn't it? It does make you laugh. Proud to be a Geordie. Pablo Aymar. Yeah, for me, these guys were the next level down, but they were great. Riquelme and Aymar. Redondo. What a footballer Redondo was. Wow. The 2006 team lost to Italy. The 98 team beat Brazil. Yeah. Our England. Stop, Billy. Stop. This is why when you come on and say, can't you have an opinion? Stop. You're just being silly. Chris B, what's Chris B said? Let's find Chris B's comment. Let's see. There are so many funny comments. I love it. Tell me if you don't like this, people. We can stop doing this. We can talk whatever you want. But I find these conversations really good. What it does is it shows you who understands football and who's a troll. Where are we? Scholes, Gerard Lampard. Yeah, for me, never in that same bracket, but top players. Listen, Zidane was just sublime. Of course he was. Jimmy Greaves, different class. Yeah, absolutely. It's madness. See, the problem is you get children like Kells that if anybody's got a memory of players that aren't in this era, they get called nostalgia merchants. Again, I don't know how these people have been brought up really badly. I'm going to say it. People are idiots these days. People are absolute idiots. Daryl Denton said, Greaves, Hoddle and Waddle struggle on these carpets. Mate, it makes you laugh, doesn't it, Daryl? Imagine these players playing on this. I said, that era wasn't very poor, Billy. It wasn't. Billy, please stop coming into my chat, please. Your takes are so bad. Paul said, Savva, do you remember players would get clattered during games and get right back up and keep going? I remember Mabbott. Absolutely, Paul. Paul, when I grew up watching football, people battered each other. Like proper men. Nowadays, a player gets flicked and fans go, "Oh my God, foul, VAR, yellow card." It's like, and that is this generation of children. It's this generation of kids, Paul. All the ones in here telling us that these top world-class players are poor. Yes, Eltel, Mario Kempes, Paolo Rossi, Bottega, Alberto, Jorginho, just top players everywhere. Stanley Matthews, Luis Figo. Yes, I'm good. Good morning to you as well. Ozzy Ardiles, Rivaldo, Figo. It just goes on and on. Romero would thrive 20 years ago, would be known as one of the greats. Go away, Kells. You're a troll. I'm blocking that. That guy's an idiot. Sorry, just troll. Hod, yeah, absolutely. Stoichkov and Romario, two absolute greats. My three favourite players are Ginola, Zlatan, Ibrahimovic, and Ronaldinho. Do you know what? This is the thing. Ginola for me doesn't even make it into these brackets, and he's my favourite player ever. So, just so we can get some, context here. But this is the thing, Jim. Look, I said this guy potentially makes my top 10, 15. And I'm being cussed, but look at the names of the people that are coming out here. Thank you to everyone in the chat. Thank you for joining in and giving these names. It's Tells has come back in and said, Simon Davis, we're talking about a guy over 6 foot with feet like a ballerina, freak of nature. I don't know who we're talking about there. What would my all-time best Spurs 11 look like? When I do this, I get in trouble by the kids. I get in trouble from the kids. Right, sorry, just quickly, Quinny, who is he saying banged in goals against war veterans? Who is he saying this about? I'd have to do this properly in a show. On my 24-hour stream the other day, I did my Premier League best 11 for Spurs. If you want to hear that, if I can remember what it was. But people again cry because they just want it to be all the players that are playing now that they know and have grown up with. Always backing opinions that's in line with you. Always backing opinions in line with you, but call other clowns or don't know anything because you don't agree with your opinion. Caleb, it's not that. It's when people are so stupid with it. Yeah, I've just disagreed with loads of people about whether a player should be the best ever or whatever, but they're not stupid with it, Caleb. When people are just stupid, they're idiots. Yeah, I'll call it out for what it is. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I'll take Puyol now. I'll take Puyol in 10 years. Bergkamp, the best 10 I've seen. Bergkamp, class act. Absolute class act. Kaka, top player was Kaka. Patrick Vieira. R9, very close by Messi. Everyone's going to have their own spin on it, but normally it's the same 4 or 5 names. Lynn said, Savva, my dad played with Stanley Matthews and he was world-class for his era, and they didn't have the pitches or the light boots and the ball they have today, and they still put the ball in the net. This is what I think. When people compare eras, it's so difficult. People in those eras weren't as fit. Of course they weren't. The world isn't what it is now. But people in this era, you watch, when a pitch isn't good, you watch, they go, oh my God, the pitch isn't good. Back in those eras, none of the pitches were good and they still played and passed and scored. And it's all very different. People can't, again, people people lack critical thinking. If those players in that era were playing now, they would be of the level of fitness of the players now. It's not rocket science, is it? Sure. Listen, I've got nothing against that. Listen, all I said was it wasn't for me. People went mad. Again, look, you could possibly you could not possibly pick an all-time top 10 because there have been so many. Absolutely, this is what makes it so difficult. And the problem is, look, it would be disingenuous of me to put in, like, if I did an all-time Spurs 11, it would be disingenuous of me to put in Danny Blanchflower when I've only seen highlights, right? So, I just think, honestly, we've got a real problem in the world today with youngsters and their inability to think. I don't know what they've been learning at school. It's really, really strange. Yeah. Billy, people can take a difference of opinion, but the problem is, Billy, you come in here and I say it's Thursday, you say it's Friday. That is the person you are. You've done it for over a year on my channel, mate. We all see you. We all see you. Paul, absolutely. Serie A in the 90s, that league compared to this Premier League, blows out of the water. Serie A in the 90s was the best league I think I've ever seen. There you go, ever. Quinny has said, if the players from before the 90s have the quality of training like today, they would be even better, especially now. Couldn't get a drop kick to the face and the game plays on. Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up Bobby K in the house. Bobby K. Modric is nowhere near Zidane. Well, first and foremost, what I love about conversations like this is they played in very different positions. Modric is a central midfielder, like almost like a deep line playmaker. Zinedine Zidane is your number 10 attacking midfielder. It's very difficult to, do you know what I mean? It's very difficult. But Luka Modric, Ballon d'Or, multiple Champions Leagues, multiple leagues. I mean, he's not done bad, has he? He's not done bad. I think we, Chris or Raziak. Absolutely. Please keep liking the stream, people. We're going to go for another 20 minutes. We are 9 likes away for 300. And please keep subscribing. Let's get towards that 7,400 as quickly as possible. It's amazing how much time a quick debate like that would take. Ricky Villa, from what I've seen of Ricky Villa, was a very good player. And him and Ozzy came over and kind of revolutionized Spurs. So, top players everywhere. Modric, Guti, Ronaldinho, Seedorf. Exactly. Winter Surfer, one of the channel members, absolutely. This is the problem with the kids today. They would look at Iniesta and wouldn't understand how good he is because he wasn't assisting 30 a season and scoring 20 a year. Absolutely. That France squad excluded Gennaro and Cantona. Wow. Absolutely. Keith said Greaves was interviewed for a game, home game for us. He was in the pub eating a roast dinner with a pint or two. Interviewer 2 was amazed. Greaves has got a hat-trick in that game. Yeah, it's different. This is the problem, some bloke. Absolutely. This is the problem. You couldn't get 500 people in a chat room all going, yeah, that's the 10. All I said was it was just for me. Like, people go mad. What idiots like that will do, though, is go to other shows and go, oh my God, Savva doesn't rate Zidane. That's what they'll do. They'll spin it. Savva doesn't rate Zidane, when I didn't say that. Don't get me started on the Ginola Sun thing. Unfortunately, Ginola gave the ball away in a game and was never forgiven. Made me laugh. If you actually watch the highlight of that goal, he gave the ball away deep in the opposition half. So the team still had to go all the way down the other end of the pitch and score. This is a good point as well, Danny. Good point. No one talks goalkeepers. Neuer, Kahn, Seaman, Buffon, Schmeichel, Zoff, Banks, Schumacher. Goalkeepers. Yeah, absolutely. Quinny, absolutely. Biddy, he does this every single show. Exactly. Pele wasn't world class. He didn't prove himself in Europe. It's madness. It's madness. You can use that in another context. You could say, I prefer this player over this player because he didn't do it in Europe. But to say he wasn't world class, he's one of the best players ever to play the game. Not quite for me. Not quite. We love Arcane, but not quite. Absolutely. He is. He's underappreciated. Can you imagine? Some of these younger fans now that rave about players like Bentancur, and they rave about players like Romero. Can you imagine if they'd had the pleasure of seeing Glenn Hoddle play? Leslie Crawford, big up Leslie, has said best players I've seen is George Best against Cruyff, Northern Ireland v Holland. 2 greats of the game. 2 absolute greats of the game. Excuse me. Most underrated players of all time, in your opinion? Michael Carrick and Dembele have to be up there. I think from an English perspective, in the English league, definitely these 2 were underrated. Michael Carrick was the main midfielder in a Man United team that dominated for 10 years, won Champions Leagues, and should have played for England 100 and 120 times. Didn't, because no one would drop Lampard-Gerrard, that combination. Dembele was very good. Didn't do it enough years for me. But Michael Carrick, his longevity, Michael Carrick was class. Absolute class. I loved Michael Carrick. Absolutely, Ben. Consider being a member. Why not? Why not? Why not? We are now on 297 likes, and we are only we're 34 subs away from the free shirts. It doesn't look like that's happening. Jimmy has said my favourite player ever and always will be. My GOAT growing up was the Brazilian Ronaldo. But let's not get confused. Even with 4 knees and no injury, he is not close to Messi. No one is. I agree with this. Growing up, yeah, Brazilian Ronaldo was different level, like different. He could do everything. Like someone the other day said to me, oh, Kane was like Ronaldo. I was like, no. Ronaldo was different. But for me, Messi, different to that. Yeah, just crazy. Billy's back said, if we had a player who only played in Brazil today, he wouldn't be seen as the best. Yes, he won 3 World Cups, but go and watch the footage on YouTube. The standard is shocking. Billy, do you know what you should do is pick up a history book. Back then, the Brazilian league was a top league. Again, you don't quite get it, do you? You don't get football. It's unfortunate. You seem like a decent guy, but you keep coming in with these. You want to be so different to the crowd that you keep coming out with these shocking comments. Romario, what a player Romario was. Absolutely. Kiefer said one of Europe's greatest ever players was Puskas. Wonder who he managed later on in his career. Oh yeah, our new manager. Absolutely. Proudspit Geordie said a fact not many people think about is also balls back then. The ball held water. Yeah, listen, back then they were playing with leather footballs. Mate, listen, I'm cracking on, dude. We're just all having a chat. We're just all having a chat. I just find it so funny. I really, really do. Socrates of Brazil. No, tell me that's true. Tell me that's true. I bet it's not. Please be true. I'm not seeing it anywhere. Where are you seeing this? I'm seeing Danjuma, Aubameyang. I'm not seeing that anywhere. I think that's. Please don't do that. If you've got news, put news in. But if you don't. Sorry, but Messi and Ronaldo doesn't get in my first 11. And yes, Serie A. Sorry, Lionel Messi doesn't get in your first 11. Have a day off. Sorry, again, it's comments like that. Dan, have a day off. Lionel Messi. I've got to move on. That will annoy me. Lionel Messi. I've never seen anyone do with a football what Lionel Messi does with a football for 20 years solid. One of the greatest goal scorers of all time, one of the greatest assisters of all time, the greatest free kick takers of all time, one of the best passers of all time, one of the best dribblers of all time. What on earth is that? Is the worst. Dan, you have beat Billy Horrocks for the worst comment of the day. Big up, Dan. Hope you're well. Linus says, Savva, in my days, they used to practice with newspaper rolled up in a ball and practice with that. And if you go to some of the very technical South American players today, they have done the same. Yeah, look, unfortunately, Lynn, a lot of these younger people don't want to take the time to understand. Billy says, Savva, before going in on me, you clearly haven't seen the footage for standard of football when Pele was playing. I was shocked myself. It's in. Oh, Billy. But if he was playing in this day and age, he would be at the fitness level of these players. It would be this. Pele was immense. Pele in World Cups ruined everyone. Please stop, Billy. This is the thing. Everyone now is saying it, Billy. It's not just me. Yeah, your comments every day are so bad. Like you're literally, basically saying he's not as good as. Yeah. I know. Yeah. I mean, Ronaldinho was the most skillful player I think I've seen. But for me, overall, Messi, the best player I've ever seen. Not even close. I'll leave you lot, the crowd, the chat to deal with this. I'll leave you. Give me one reason why Pele should be in the top 10 players of all time. It's mad, isn't it? It's absolutely mad. Okay, Marmang. Okay, but again, you clearly don't understand football. There's been a lot of top players. Name me your top 10, Marmang. Name me your top 10. Look at some of these players. Yeah, Rijkaard and Hullet. Absolutely. It's just which name? Sorry, there's so many, mate. There's so many. Gaza 1990 for me was the best player in the world. Just absolutely insane. Where are we? Savva, imagine some of the younger fans got to watch Gaza. Mate. Someone like Billy Horrocks would find a way to say Gaza wasn't good. That's the era we're in. That is the era we're in, where people don't understand anything other than this generation. It's really sad to see. What a magician. Ronaldinho was special. What I loved about him, he had 3 or 4 or 5 years at the top, won it all, and then decided to go off and party. And when I say won it all, I mean all. World Cups, Champions Leagues, he just done everything. Player of the Years, he just superb. Absolutely superb. Iker Casillas, top goalkeeper. Iker Casillas, Franco Baresi. Savva, I became a football fan at 5 years old. At 5 years old, a Spurs fan at 10 years, and I've been lucky to see many players like Giuseppe Signori. Top players. This is the thing. There were top players everywhere. Now I don't think they are. I don't think there are. Rivaldo, Ronaldinho, Bebeto. What a player Bebeto was. He will one day. Listen, where are we? God, there's so many comments. It's unbelievable. Foxy has said underrated English players. I'd say David Platt, one of the very few that did well overseas in the best league in the world at the time. Very true. He did very well over in Serie A. That's very, very true. Not many players do. I need the devil on my left shoulder. This devil. This one. I mean, look, straight away when people talk to me about some of the top 10, look at the first 3 up here. Look at the first 3. Ronaldinho, Messi, and Pele. And with that, I haven't even put in George Best. I haven't even put in Cruyff. I haven't even put in Maradona. Do you know what I mean? Straight away, look at the names of those players. It's absolutely amazing. No, Billy. It's not about agreeing with everything I say. But the thing is, you go to the extreme. Like, I don't think I've ever seen anyone say Pele isn't one of the best 3 players or 5 players that ever lived. And you come in and say he was playing against really poor teams. You come in and say he wasn't one of the best ever. It's just like you do it because it's different. And it doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense to me. Yeah. Pele played. Yeah, absolutely he did. Yeah, Maradona's definitely been mentioned, Stuart, but he's definitely been mentioned. Definitely. There you go. Everybody, just to see. Look, there we go. That is, Billy, when you say opinions, that is why. Pele is overrated. He is shite. Wow. Pele is shite. Wow. I mean, wow. Okay, I don't know what to do. Yeah, I don't go on the World Cup wins, Raf. I don't think it needs to go on World Cup wins. Let's be fair. Pele played for one of the best national teams ever. Yeah, you know what I mean? I don't think we can do it on that. Listen, Kesh, it makes me... I mean, if anyone's watched football and doesn't think Lionel Messi gets in a best ever 11, I truly worry. Sorry, I know they're all-time greats, but they don't work in my formation 1-3-1-3-3. I know it sounds bad, but for me, they're better for the team. Sorry, Lionel Messi gets in any formation, in any team, in any country, in any world. I mean, what do you mean he doesn't get in your formation? He plays anywhere. He's the greatest player that's ever played the game. This is just madness. Absolutely madness. This is why we love YouTube. This is why we love opinions. It's funny. God, loads of comments. Jimmy Greaves was magic. Apparently, according to Billy, he wasn't very good. Absolutely. This is the problem. This is the problem. Um, of course, Pele was the best player in the national team, but did you see the team around him? Pele didn't once play in a bad Brazilian team. Pele not once. If I'm right, some people maybe a bit older will tell me. If I'm right, I'm pretty sure I read that at all 3 World Cups that they won, Brazil were the number 1 favourites to win it each time. So I do feel like we've got to put context in there as well. If you are the number 1 favourite to win the World Cup, it does help, doesn't it? Mark said Ronaldinho is the only player to have won a World Cup, a Copa America, a Confederations Cup, a Champions League, a Copa Libertadores, and a Ballon d'Or. That's not bad, is it? That's not bad. This guy, the skill on this guy. Again, okay, straight away, we want to talk about Zidane. I look at Ronaldinho, I look at Zidane. Give me Ronaldinho all day long. Give me Ronaldinho all day long. Yeah, Pele is shite, apparently. Yeah, absolutely. Pele, if Pele played today, I'll ask you this question. If Lionel Messi and Pele were both 21 years of age in this era, right now, if they were both 21, answers please on a postcard, everyone. How much money would Pele and Lionel Messi cost a club to buy them? 21. If they were 21 today, how much would they cost? Bearing in mind, Napoli want 140 million for Victor Osimhen. Bearing in mind, Neymar went for something like 185, 190 million. How much would Messi be right now? No, listen, Lee, I love it. No reeling in. I love it. I mean, look, we can go on to managers in a minute, but I'm only going to go for another 10 minutes and then Perchie's going. But how much? People put in the chat, how much? No, you can't. You can't. That Argentina team that just won the World Cup wasn't full of world-class players at all. Nowhere in that team was it full of world-class players. Was it? Martinez in goal, world-class? Montiel? Romero? Otamendi? McAllister? DePaul? Di Maria? Alvarez? Are these world-class players? Really? Come on, please. Zidane over Ronaldinho? No, Ronaldinho was God. I feel I'd love him to. I'd love him to. He never would. Yeah, he was a magician. He just did different. He was different. Someone's saying 1 billion, 300 million, 600 million, 250 million for Eva, 300 million. Pele was doing it at 16. Lionel Messi broke into the Barcelona first team at 16. And we're talking about people just unbelievable. Exactly. Pele would be at 30 camels, 1 billion. Okay. Messi had a release clause of 150 million at 16. I don't know how anyone's watched these two players and has a single bad word to say about either of them. The only 1K has said, this is a debate. What if it weren't Ronaldo and Messi, but Messi and Pele? Who would be the GOAT in the current era? Oh, I don't know. That's 2 players. I don't know. I don't know. That would be a really good question, though. Really good question. 200 million. You can have both. Oh, both. By the way, can we just go back to the beginning of this whole conversation? I did say Zidane was one of the best players I've ever seen. He's just not in my... He wasn't... Automatically, he didn't spring to me that, he must be in my top 10. Because there's so many players. Okay, sorry, there is no Perchie today. Tottenham on tour will be streaming. Ben, put the link in the chat. Mate. And then everyone can go over there at 12 p.m. Van Basten, yeah, he was different gravy. Again, I couldn't agree with you more. Ronaldinho over Zidane for me. They are both elite players, but Ronaldinho was like watching the Harlem Globetrotters. Look, I take either. I always use this analogy, Brian. If I was lining up You know, in the old days in the playground where you had to pick players, everyone lined up against the wall and you went, I'll have him, I'll have him, I'll have him. If the last two players were Ronaldinho and Zidane, you wouldn't really mind which one you got, would you? Like, do you know what I mean? It's not like you'd go, oh my God, we got Zidane and they got Ron. You wouldn't mind. Yeah, they were. They were the number one favourites in this World Cup. Yeah, they were. But it doesn't mean their team was full of world-class players. I think they were the number one favourites because they hadn't lost a game for about 30 games and because Lionel Messi is Lionel Messi. I've just never understood it. I don't understand how nearly every football pundit in the world sits there in gasping about players like Lionel Messi and fans want to find a way to belittle it. It's priceless. There you go. Live at 12 p.m. Live at 12 p.m. Put it in as well, Brian, just before I end, just so it's right there, people. Pep was a top player. Pep was a genius. You had Pep, then down to Xavi, then down to Iniesta, then down to Busquets. Now they're passing it to Pedri and Gavi. They just keep doing it, don't they? I mean, Raf, did you see that team? Did you see the team that Pele was in? Garrincha, Jorginho, Socrates, to name a few. Are you like? Yeah, different class. He's different class. He's different class. Pele. Yeah, it just different class. Pele. For me, it's got to be. I don't know. My favourite five. If I give my favourite five, will be Messi, Maradona, Pele, Ronaldo, and probably Ronaldinho. Then the others that fall behind that for me are the Cruyffs. But look, again, because I can't say for certain because I wasn't bang on in that era, but from what I've seen of the Cruyffs, the bests, just unbelievable. Unbelievable. Yeah, apparently, yeah. Rumor is that Muhammad Ali wasn't a great boxer, according to Billy. Listen, do not talk about other channels on my stream, please, please, please. I speak to the guys at Tottenham Away. There are no problems. Don't need to start. There's no problems. I agree. For me, Vinny, he's the greatest footballer to ever grace a pitch. He's still doing it now. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Phil P. Absolutely. Absolutely. Maradona would have done it in the Barca team under Pep. I don't think Messi would have done what Maradona at Napoli. But why? Why wouldn't Messi have been able to do it? This is what I don't understand. Why? What has anyone seen from Lionel Messi that suggests he couldn't have done what Maradona done at Napoli? Why? Give me some reasons. Why couldn't he have done that? You look at Messi. Listen, I hate putting these two against each other, but you look at these two in their careers. Look at the sheer numbers that Messi has posted: 7 Ballon d'Ors, and yet again, people like Maze's Adventure belittling him. The belittlement is just absolutely baffling. Baffling. Orange Dog, you are getting banned. That person is banned. Socrates was late. Him and Zico never won a World Cup. Legendary players. Look, you know what I mean, Phil. You know what I mean. Don't be pedantic, but you know what I mean. The players that Pele played with over 20 years were just some of the best players ever. I can't name every one of them, but Brazil weren't bad. This is what I don't get, AZ. I don't know how anyone watches Messi and says, oh, he wouldn't have been able to do what Maradona did when he's done it all and more. I don't understand it. I really, really don't understand it. Maradona didn't have the players around him at Napoli like Messi did at Barca, so I can see where people are coming from. But it's different eras, different leagues, isn't it? So who's to say Messi couldn't have done it? People are arguing the impossible. When they go, he couldn't have done it. How do you know? No one knows that. No one knows that. I agree. Do you know what? I get this all the time. Everyone makes out that, it's like Maradona versus everyone else. You know, it's mad. It's absolutely mad. Honestly, I think the older I'm getting, the worse people's footballer opinions are becoming. It's madness. It's absolutely madness. My only argument why Maradona would have had more of an impact is because of his outgoing personality. I mean, but what his outgoing personality was the reason why he never had the longevity. That doesn't make any sense, Steve. His outgoing personality is the reason why he was doing drugs. His outgoing personality. Look at the number of goals Messi scored. Look at the number of assists Messi had. Look at the number of Ballon d'Ors. Just I don't get it. This absolutely. Imagine them playing together. It's just mad. Phil, absolutely. How can Spurs fan big up Kane who has won nothing but slam Messi who has won it all? And you know the funny thing is he's won it all over and over and over and over again. 7 Ballon d'Ors, possibly coming up for an 8th Ballon d'Or. It's madness. Look, what an awful. He's been nurtured from a sports science background and pampered. Maradona was 16 in the Argentinian league, getting hardened physically and mentally. Messi has the greatest team around him ever. Maisie, what an awful take. If you look at it, right, Lionel Messi, do you know what he had to go through when he was younger because of his growth problems? Are you kidding me? The fact that he came through that adversity. Wow, people are horrible. People are just ridiculous. Messi struggle when Xavi and Neymar left. I haven't seen Messi struggle. He just carried his team to a World Cup. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do you mean? Absolutely, Pele did. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Listen, I'm going to end the stream there. We've got to the point now where there's some very, very silly people. I won't be doing watch-alongs for the Women's World Cup. No, I won't be. I'll be doing my next watch-along will be on Sunday for Tottenham versus Leicester. Here we go. Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with that. Maisie has said, look at the stat on most assists ever. About 8 players Messi played with make up top 20. None for Maradona. Teammates and yes, assists was counted back then. I don't. 8 players Messi played with make up the top 20 ever. I don't believe that at all. Listen, I just don't see any weakness to Lionel Messi's game. I don't think anyone can give me a weakness to Lionel Messi. I don't understand this guy. Dan, me too. This guy, everybody should just be going, wow. But they try and pick holes. It's unbelievable. Ronaldinho taught Messi things in football when Messi was young. Yeah, and Lionel and Ronaldinho has since said Lionel Messi is better than he ever was. I mean, it's his madness. I've got to go. It's so honestly. Absolutely. Messi was so... Do you know what makes me laugh is I always hear, Daniel, that Lionel Messi was only good because of the players around him, right? All of the best players in the world have always played with good players around them. But Lionel Messi was the one in those years that got all the goals and assists. So when we're talking about because of his teammates around him, he's still... Mate, it's absolutely baffling. It's absolutely baffling. Again, Foxy, yeah, again, people don't do their homework. They literally just turn around and go, oh, Maradona did it on his own. Go and look at the team. It's absolutely crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It was, yeah, but I don't understand why this makes sense. If anything, he was a detriment because of his personality. If anything, that's why Lionel Messi's just had a 20-year career. Maradona had the problems he had because of the personality. Lionel Messi, do you know what? I've got I've got to stop. It's absolutely mental. It's crazy. Honestly, it's as though we're talking about Brian Hill, the way people talk about Lionel Messi. Messi was players around him. Well, then he shouldn't have won last World Cup then. I don't understand what that means. I don't understand. Listen, I'm going to go. I cannot understand how bad some people's football opinions are. It is absolutely shocking. Lionel Messi, if not the greatest, one of the top 2 greatest footballers to have ever played football. And the number of people belittling him, especially this person, absolutely shocking, is mental. Yeah. Messi's only weakness was his height. Could have scored even more with a few extra inches, yeah, and still managed to score winning headers in Champions League final. Sure, but none of them have done what Messi's done. Listen, it is what Dan. I can't take it seriously, mate. You said he wouldn't get in an all-time 11. It's just madness. The players around him, he had some good players around him, but they weren't world-class players. This is what makes me laugh. Yeah, who else has won 7 Ballon d'Ors? It's just absolutely madness. It's not about longevity. Oh, you don't understand. Okay, I can't deal with people at the moment. Right, I am going to stop the show. It's got absolutely madness. Guys and girls, thank you very much. Please head over to Tottenham on Tour. And thank you very much for the sensible people in the chat. It's absolutely mad, the things I'm hearing today about greats like Lionel Messi. Dan, I can't. Dan, I don't want to hear it. If anybody, I'll be honest, if anybody doesn't put Lionel Messi in their best ever 11 to have played football, for me, I can't take it seriously. It's only my opinion. I can't take it seriously. Lionel Messi, the most Ballon d'Ors, going to end up one of the greatest goal scorers, if not the greatest goal scorer the world has ever seen, one of the greatest assists, greatest passing, dribbling, and he doesn't get into your formation. On that note, see you later, people. This has been funny and sublime and ridiculous all at the same time. Take care, everyone. See you later. Bye-bye.